So last Saturday, our neighborhood held its annual garage sale, a day where everyone hauls out their hidden treasures, hoping to exchange them for a fistful of dollars or, more realistically, loose change. My buddy Tom and I decided to wander around, sipping our coffees and marveling at the bizarre array of items people deemed valuable enough to sell. That's when we stumbled upon Mrs. Jenkins's setup, which had a peculiar sign reading vintage air guitar, one of a kind. Now, Tom and I have seen some odd things, but this was truly a first. Mrs. Jenkins, a sprightly lady in her late 60s, was enthusiastically describing the air guitar's history to a crowd that was growing by the minute. She claimed it was a relic from the 70s, played by legendary rock stars in concerts that were never recorded because, naturally, they only existed in the imaginations of those who were there. The crowd was eating it up, and Mrs. Jenkins had everyone convinced they could hear the faint strumming of invisible strings if they just believed hard enough. The bidding started at an imaginary $10, and before long, the air was filled with people waving invisible bills, each trying to outbid the other with increasingly ludicrous amounts. Tom and I exchanged glances, our eyebrows raised and smirks barely contained as we watched the spectacle unfold. Mrs. Jenkins was now in full auctioneer mode, her voice rising to a crescendo as she pointed to imaginary bidders with her imaginary gavel. The neighborhood kids were running around, pretending to play their own air instruments, forming an impromptu, silent band that seemed to be the perfect accompaniment to the surreal scene. People were laughing, and the energy was infectious. It was as if the entire block had entered a dimension where reality was just a suggestion. As the imaginary bids soared to an astronomical $1 million, Mrs. Jenkins finally called out, "Sold!" to the gentleman in the invisible hat. Everyone erupted in applause, and Mrs. Jenkins took a deep bow, her eyes twinkling with mischief. As Tom and I walked away, shaking our heads in amusement, he turned to me and said, "Well, I guess you could say Mrs. Jenkins really knows how to string people along."